Hey guys, welcome back to the Danger Planet. This is Doug, and today we're going to talk about what you should look at when you're first starting Malifaux and the initial things that you should purchase to get yourself ready to jump into the hobby. Hey guys, welcome back to Danger Planet. This is Doug, and today is going to be a relatively short video around the initial stuff that you should grab when you're first getting into the game of Malifaux. I'm making this video specifically because I have a lot of questions pretty much on a weekly basis from folks that ask me, what do I need to do to jump into Malifaux? Not necessarily be a hyper competitive tournament player, but I'm just trying to wrap my arms around the game system, maybe get my first master, and get started with just enjoying and learning the game system. And I wanted to make a response to that so that folks could get just a very high level overview. On a TLDR, the game is made up of 8 factions, and each faction has a subset of 9 different masters. And each of those masters is kind of the leader of their crew, right? So the game breaks down into 8 factions. Each faction has 9 masters, and each master has 2 play variants. So they're intended to do different things or be good at different things. And then that master will have a keyword. So you can hire your team or your crew, as what it's called in Malifaux, based off of that keyword. So for example, if you wanted to play as Lady Justice from the guild, there's 2 variants of Lady Justice. There's OG Lady Justice, and there's Lady Justice Death Touched. And they'll do different things and perform differently on the table. But the way that you get into playing as Lady Justice, for example, is really not that different than what I would suggest for any master in the game. And really what that breaks down to is usually starting out with what's called a core box, and then usually a supplementary box. So normally what I tell folks is the entry level cost for getting into Malifaux, just kind of taking a bite out of it, is usually about 120 to 150 bucks if you're stateside, and that's for buying what would be a core box, a supplemental box, and maybe one other model. And that's going to be generally my advice here, is that when you're looking into starting Malifaux, just make sure you buy what's called the core box. That'll come with your master as well as a totem, and oftentimes a couple of the generic minions within the keyword. And then what I would encourage you to do is look for or look at maybe one other supplemental box that also has that same keyword. So if we're going to stay with the Lady Justice example, Lady Justice has a keyword called martial. So for the Lady Justice initial purchases, what I would recommend to someone is getting the Lady Justice core box, and then one of her other supplemental boxes with a model that either speaks to you or you're really excited about. The best way to kind of check on this before you buy is to use the Malifaux app. It's a free app. It's actually probably the best miniature gaming app I've ever used. And we'll show a link to that, and we'll show some work through as I'm talking here so you guys can see. But you can go in and you can type in, for example, we'll type in Lady Justice here, and then we'll type in the martial keyword, and the app will show you all of the models that you can use in that keyword. And so if something speaks out to you, go find the box that's in, and then go and buy that. And so you're usually looking at the core box, a supplemental box, and then my next recommendation would be what's called getting the title box. Now, we talked a little bit about how masters have 2 variants. In the very beginning of Malifaux 3rd edition, which is the current edition that we're on, masters only had 1 version, but they came out with an expansion called Malifaux Burns. And in that Malifaux Burns book, every single master in the game got an alternate title version. And now what's happening is, as new masters are being released, they're actually releasing 2 versions from the gun. So you're always going to see those 2 versions. Now, I wouldn't say you have to have both of them to start the game, but it's certainly helpful. And as you progress and you start to understand more of the playstyle of what your crew is trying to do, having an alternate play style that you can lean into when a scheme or a strategy pool isn't necessarily the best for that specific one style of master is really, really powerful in a game of Malifaux. So I would encourage, as the next nice to have purchase, would be getting the title version of your master. Now, title boxes are a little different than like what a core box would be or what a normal supplemental box would be. Generally, they're going to come with 2 title masters and 1 shared model. Now, what do I mean by that? The way that Wyrd releases their title boxes is that 2 title masters or alternative form masters will come in a box. Now, they're not necessarily related to one another. For example, the Lady Justice box comes with a master from the Outcast faction called Tara, as well as herself, and they have a shared model. So what that means is there's this model called 33, which is a undead, magically enhanced skeleton with a pistol and a bad attitude, and 33 can be hired by either Tara or Lady Justice, and you'll see that because she has the dual keywords. So you're going to see that with all title boxes. They basically come with 2 title masters and a shared minion. So what I like to do oftentimes is if I have to buy a title box and I'm not using that master, so in this example Tara, I keep it on the sprue, I keep it in a nice little plastic baggie, and then I use it to trade for alternative sculpts down the line that I might want, or barter with my buddies at the LGS for other models that they might have that I want. So that's a big thing in Malifaux, is lots of alternative sculpts, lots of potentially bartering with your buddies because they might get title boxes that you might want a model from that they don't care about. It happens to me all the time. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope this was valuable. This was really meant to be a walkthrough for a person that is just landing in the Malifaux community and is trying to figure out how to start collecting their first keyword. So again, you're going to see a bunch more like this on like getting started videos and how to get into the game type videos. If you're new to the channel, we do a lot of competitive event coverage and technical gameplay coverage on Malifaux as well. So if you'd like to check out our 8 different faction focus videos or any of our competitive tier lists, we've got tons of those in our Malifaux playlist. And we hope that you guys like this video and stick around on the planet for what we got coming up. Thanks so much, guys, and I hope to see you in the next video.